Welcome to the WhizzbangBAM podcast. I'm Adam Bearclaw, and this is Professor Jesse Wells.
Hello.
Good to see you, buddy.
Great to see you, Adam.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being here and for playing tonight. I'm really looking forward to this. So, how'd you get involved with these boys?
That's a great question. I'm still trying to find the answer myself. How I found myself in the good fortunes of being in Tyler's band and the food stamps and all the guys. It's become a big happy family. So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm really glad to be a part of it. And I'm trying to remember what year it was when the Wooks broke up, but that was probably the point where I found myself calling Tyler and Ian and talking to the guys about slipping in.
I think I first met you in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
That show that got bumped up to stage AE.
That's right. That was one of the first runs.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So that was the first time you toured with them at that point?
Yeah, it started at the Burl, the 3-night run they did.
Yeah.
First night, no rehearsals, no no set list, just trial by fire. They just threw me in, and it's been a great ride since.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
So you are not just a player, you're also a professor. That's not just a fun little title that people throw around.
Well,
to make you
sometimes
sound
it is.
cool. But tell me about that part of your life.
I've had the good fortune to stay at Morehead State University. They have the Kentucky Center for Traditional Music there, and that's also been a good crossroads of connecting musicians across the northeast part of Kentucky and beyond. I've been there since 2001, so quite a while.
Are you seeing any of your students go out and make music? Are they part of the old-timey traditional scene as well? Like, tell me about that.
Yeah, old time and beyond. My favorite graduates are the local honeys.
Oh, man.
Linda and Montana were, I think, the two first women to graduate from our program. So
that's fantastic.
Couldn't be more proud of what they're doing.
For sure.
As people and as musicians, songwriters.
Yeah, they're carrying a torch for sure.
They are.
Yeah.
They're powerful. And so many other the Price sisters who are having a lot of success in the bluegrass industry. It's awesome to see the ladies kind of taking over. And Thomas Albert, people may know him from playing with Nick Jamerson.
Yeah.
He's a really wonderful steel player, and actually our new director at the Center for Traditional Music is a graduate of our program.
Nice.
So now we're seeing our graduates take leadership roles.
Man, I'd love to hear that.
Dax and Lewis, and it's doing a wonderful job. It's this youthful energy.
Do you feel like it's in a better state now than it was when you first came on board?
Oh boy!
And what was the turning point for all this? Like, what shifted that brought old timey back into focus and saw more players come out and want to be a part of a program like that?
Seeing our students out in the professional realm, I think it's gotten young people excited about that music again, and getting in touch with their ancestors' music. It's our music comes from all over the planet. Africa's the first place I look towards for the influence of the blues music and gospel music and the rhythmic pulse of our music, and the British Isles, of course, which is that for me. That was what put me in touch with my parents, people who came into Eastern Kentucky and founded many places in Eastern Kentucky. So it's as old as the people, of course. So
the fiddle has been around.
That's right.
Yeah.
My friend said it's always easier to carry a fiddle on your back than a piano. So that's and of course the banjo and the history of that instrument, definitely coming from West Africa, and still seeing instruments there that are just like the banjo and an easy instrument to build.
Right. So what is it about the fiddle?
Oh boy, the fiddle for me, the fiddle's the most challenging of all the instruments. I don't necessarily sing. I sing, but I shouldn't sing. So to me, it was a way to be more vocal. to find the notes in between the 12 notes that we hear in Western music.
Do you think that's part of why it has persisted as an instrument for as long as it has? Why it was a part of even small communities, even back in the day when maybe that was the only instrument that a village had?
Yeah.
The connection to the voice,
that and the rhythmic intensity of the instrument. It's always at the forefront of a good dance.
Yep.
I mean, we still see those dance traditions, and especially in Eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, North Carolina, in our southern Appalachian mountain region. It's still a part of the communities, the way people got together. And if you had one fiddle and they could play a tune halfway decent, it got people moving and dancing. And, which... people question which came first, the moonshine or the fiddle, or the dancing or the singing. And to me, it's a collective of all that, just all our food cultures and the people. And to me, it was my family. My dad's a fiddler, and his brothers all played bluegrass. And that's what got me interested in it, was just as a real young child being immersed into that environment. There was no way I didn't want to play music. As we all know, we're surrounded by it.
Absolutely.
Fortunately, in this part of the world, it's still vibrant. It's still.
There was a point where I'm not a scholar. I study this at all, but it felt like we were going to lose it.
Oh yeah. I mean, just a generation before us.
Yeah.
I don't know. The change in the world, I think, has helped this develop into something that we're wanting to preserve in a way, preserve the good things.
Yeah. John talked about that a little bit too. And
yeah.
I think it's nice to see that it's not just a scholarly endeavor.
No.
People are living it, breathing it, they're feeling it.
That's the intent for me. I want to pass this down to my children and my family, and their friends and our neighbors, and just want to keep it alive as much as possible. Music's a wonderful thing to share.
Yeah,
so.
Well, it has a wonderful advocate in you, my friend.
Well, I appreciate that. That's
for sure. But I gotta ask, do you dance?
I don't. So I don't sing. I don't dance. So that's why I try to play all the instruments that I try to play. I think that's been my wife always got on to me about dancing. They always needed a fiddler, so every now and then I will. But,
okay. For her?
Yes.
Yeah.
And her alone.
So are you still learning new instruments? Is that a passion for you at all? Or
and as a matter of fact, right now it's the drums.
Okay. All right.
I'm getting back into my high school youth. My daughter's gotten into electric bass and guitar and now drums. So that's what I did in high school, so I'm reliving those years.
How does that compare to playing the fiddle?
It's a much different animal.
Yeah.
But I have, I've got Hot Rod to guide me, and a lot of Casey and all these great drummers looking for gear, and then relearning my rudiments, going back to the source. So.
Heck yeah, man.
So yeah, that's what keeps me going. I mean, the fiddle's number one for me, but I love going back and studying the mandolin for a while, and then when I get bored with that, the banjo.
So how many instruments total would you consider yourself proficient in?
None of them.
Always humble.
I just dabble in them so much. Strings primarily, but anything I can get my hands on, literally. The bones, I've been enjoying trying to play the bones again.
Yeah. Well, I know Tim Lancaster's a fan, so
yeah, absolutely.
I always love to see him play.
Tim's amazing.
Yeah, he can quiet a room like nobody's business with those bones.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely the primitive sounds of some shin bones knocking against each other will get your attention quick.
It's weird to think about that being a starting point for things that we hear today.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just knocking a couple bones together, finding a rhythm.
Animal skin across a drum head and some strings across it. That's you can make a beautiful sound, a joyful noise, as they say.
Hey, there we go. Well, man, thank you so much for sitting down with me and talking to me.
Anytime.
Anything you want to bump? Anything you want to shout out? Anything going on that we need to know about?
Oh gosh. Just the great things that are happening at Morehead State University. I better put a plug in for that. And it really is. It's powerful to see young people writing songs, learning new instruments, and turning into artists.
Yeah.
And that's what's kept me at Morehead so long, is just seeing the passion that young people have for this music. So and you know, and the support that everybody, the Whizzbang team and beyond, and Tyler in particular, just the support that he gives so many people, including myself.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just thankful every day to be a part of this family, and hope it continues for a long time.
Well, I think you're in good hands and they're in good hands.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you,
so
brother.
much. Thank you, Adam.
Yep.